Hey there everybody, this is Shady. Welcome back to more for Fencer F. In the last episode we were introduced to our second party member Tiara, and we also snuck into this horrible DLC dungeon to get some really strong armors that I'm probably actually going to use, since I'm pretty sure you can get them late game. But just to confirm with you, they are really strong armors because they're comparable to like the DLC ones, and that in well, not really. The DLC ones are obscene, but yeah. But you also get, when you go into the equip screen the first time, you get this little tutorial. Can't only have to physically equip it. That's typical JRPG chicanery anyway. You also cannot equip the Fury that's equipped, but you can equip a Fury using the Renaissance effect. So what we got was the Warlord breastplate, which is melee only. 200 defense, 200 melee defense. That's compared to, well, yeah, those two are really upsetting. And I will tell you something. As an insurance, I actually equipped the strong defensive armors to Fang and Tiara on the way in through the horrible DLC dungeon, and well, just to see if they could actually survive a hit, just for testing purposes. And the answer is no. They still can't, even with the strongest armors. So the other thing we got was the Valgod and Goddess's clothes, which is female only. As you can already see, there are male and female exclusive armors. The female ones are pink or red, and the male ones are blue. That's the last thing I want, is the Renaissance effect thing. Basically, you can equip a Fury that you happen to have obtained, either through going through dungeons or through any of the DLC. And they give you various buffs as well, and they also learn abilities as they level up as you level up. Basically, that was what happens, and they will give you abilities, and they also give you items, which is indicated by a little present underneath their name. So for Fang, we're going to go with you, and for Tiara, we are going to go with you. You also have costumes and accessories. At the moment, I don't have anything of interest, aside from possibly having everybody wear a netgear down on the head. But yeah, it's because for the most part these cosmetic. I've not really seen anything of yet that changes anything. So with that explained, the other thing I want to explain, I think because we have it now, is weapon boost. Basically, this allows you to customize your weapons and gain other attacks, magic, special abilities, and skills. We only currently have 10, and we will start to get more WP or weapon points, or whatever you want to call it. We'll start to be getting that as we fight battles and get experience and such. So yeah, fighting enemies is generally going to be a good idea, because weapon points are, well, you don't really get weapon points at a high rate early game. You only get like 1 or 2 per battle, but still one or two. Specifically, I want to try and get learning on everybody. It's basically the equivalent of giving them an experience share in Pokemon. Like giving the Pokemon experience share. If that person doesn't get used to the battle, they still get experience and stuff. So yeah, that is really useful, especially when you want to be grinding later on in the game, or if you want to be grinding up to like the obscene levels from the DLC. To take on the DLC dungeons and such. And other than that, I think what I want to do, first off with both characters, is to get the combo rate up by 1. That way I can also talk about combo edits, however the game will tell me anyway. 3 types of attacks: normal, launching, and aerial. You can use aerial attacks on grounded enemies, which is fine, but basically you're supposed to combine an aerial attack with a launch attack, which I can't really do at the moment since we only have like one extra combo on our thing, and we don't learn the ability to chain other characters' things yet until like probably when we get our next party member actually. But yeah, the fact is, you probably noticed in the other menu that you can equip other weapons along with your other Fury with the weapon boost. For example, Fang gets swords, axes. I think his next one is gauntlets or fist, which isn't that great. Tiara eventually gets scythes. I think she gets bow as one of hers as well. But you're probably wondering why would you just want to do sword, just have all sword attacks and arm, and have like variants in combinations. Well, the game's going to explain it later, but enemies will have a weakness to certain weapon types, and it like I said, it only comes into account later on. I think it's actually when we do get our third party member as well. So yeah, having like very variable means of doing damage is pretty good. Also, trying to keep everything sort of the same. I kind of like having one option of everything, like one for launch, one for normal attacks, and one for aerial follow-up. So I kind of like having something like this. And you can also change the formation of your party, where they start off. Like, I believe you can actually change the actual location of them. But right now, that's fine as it is. If I do end up changing it, it's probably likely going to be off screen when I do that. Or I might not even do it at all. Anyway, stuff happens in Selwyn City, so let's go deal with that. come to one of the main parts of the game, Godly Revival. I'll say it's main is actually really important because this actually determines the route that you go to halfway through the game when a certain event happens and the game deviates. And it's actually, and if I'm going through this, I apologise, but you can always pause the video if you wanted to read it. But yeah, basically pull the Furies out of the Vile God and the Goddess as you so wish. This game actually will tell us about what we need to do. One of the other things that comes with Godly Revival is when you activate one, you have to have the same class of fairy. Right now we have only one C rank fairy. I know which one I want to grab. Is it this one? I think it was this one. Yeah, it's this one. We can only have C rank ones because we only have one C rank fairy, because the game doesn't take into account any of the DLC Furies you happen to have because they can't actually be used. You can, if you also want, go to the Vile God, but yeah, Tiara's going to say no. But yeah, in order for the endings to deviate, it all involves that dude. But you kind of have to use the pull one from the Goddess, so we're going to do this one, Angel's Luck, and I like the shaking effect, which I think comes into effect pretty soon anyway. Essentially, this place is a lot like the Colosseums in the Neptunia games, except this is a lot more important. Well, you could say the Colosseum and Rebirth would be important because share grinding was a thing in that game, but yeah, this place is essentially the Colosseum. And I believe this fight also is pretty easy if I pick the right thing. And I have, it's fine. And I'm hoping they do actually do what they are going to be doing, which is to pick on Tiara. Because these guys, guess what? They're all weak to war, and that means I can kill these two like pretty much instantly. I say as they don't die. I'm wondering if I was like a little bit more leveled up when I was doing this before, because I know I was doing this before and I instantly killed like those two that attacked Tiara. And maybe maybe I was just thinking of those that I've seen in an upcoming dungeon, because those enemies do show up in an upcoming dungeon. I'm even stronger now. And also level up while we're here, that's pretty great. So doing that removes the fury from the Goddess, and whatever ability it had is also given to the fury that you gave to it. Now you can only use one fairy per thing, so you can't actually use yourself to pull out another fury here. Well, Angel's Luck is a pretty nice effect anyway, plus experience and gold. And the shaking effects, which are going to be used, I think, shortly anyway. The game's going to explain those in a minute. And we also get rank up for Revival. You will need to do this because I believe some of the abilities that you can learn will only be able to be learned if you have high Revival rank. And I believe you rank up by beating like the first thing of that particular rank. So we need to find a B rank Fury in order to go up to rank B. have to wonder what Tiara's plotting. But yeah, this basically is explaining the Renaissance effect. You basically equip fairies to the characters, give them extra stats. And I think you get the abilities from the thing as well. And the fairy gets experience and levels up and does things. And you also get items from them, like I mentioned also before. Also, one thing you can do, you can only do with Godly Revival, you can only do Godly Revival when you're at the Sunflower Inn and Tiara's in the pie. I think the game's actually going to explain this here. But yeah, that's actually the only fairy you don't actually have to you actually have to pull from the goddess. Or you can start pulling fairies out from the Val goddess if you so want to. But like I said, because that allows you to deviate the story. I'm going to go through. I think I'm going to go through the goddess route first, and then I'm going to go into the other two. One of the other routes you can only do on New Game Plus anyway, since even on one playthrough you're not going to have enough Furies to actually do what you need to do to unlock the prerequisite for that particular story. So there's going to be at least three. There's going to be at least 3 trips around the around this game. Fortunately, you're not really going to have to see the first half of it like over and over. I will probably just get to where the path deviates and then go from there. Future parts. But anyway, we got to go find more Furies, and yeah, Lola's probably the one to probably have information on a Fury.
Welcome, welcome! I'm glad to see you again. Oh, I don't think I've met that girl before. I'm Lola. I'm an informant.
Such a young child working as an informant? Are you sure that's wise? You're not putting yourself in any danger, are you?
Oh, I'm perfectly fine. I might not look it, but I'm pretty tough. Now then, are you here to buy some information from me today?
Sure am.
Okay then, your total will come to this much.
Damn, that's expensive. We're returning customers, you know. Can't you throw a little discount our way?
Why don't we just pay the fee, Thing? It is most immature for an adult to haggle with a child.
Wait, what? I figured you'd complain about the price louder than any of us.
Oh, you can be surprisingly nice sometimes.
Please do not tease me. I am only stating the most reasonable course of action.
Thank you for your patronage. Now then, I've heard that there's a Fury somewhere within Crevice Cave.
Oh, great. Sounds like another pain in the ass. Okay, Miss Hypocrite. Guess we better get going, huh?
I told you to stop teasing me.
And yeah, we come to our final piece of advice for pretty much today's video. World shaping. Basically, this is basically how we're going to be unlocking dungeons in the future. So basically, we're just going to leave the world map. You see this question mark here? This is actually where we need to go, but it's not going to tell us unless we punch a Fury into the ground. Which we're actually going to do. Use the Y button, select one of your Furies. Aim the thing near to where your destination is. It should be glowing like this, and then plunge it in. This is where the shaping effect comes in. So we will be gaining 30% extra experience in this area, at the cost of 10% to less physical defense. But that's pretty much it for today. I know it's been pretty heavy on the cutscenes, and I've only really done like literally one thing, which was like the Fighting Gully revival. But yeah, we're doing a lot more fighting, a lot more exploring in this this cave in the next video. Well, getting much more experience as well, so which is always good. Anyway, that's it from me. Take care, and I will see you later. Ciao.